Okay, so in the previous lecture, or in the first lecture of the series of Flexbox, we learned how easily you guys can just display flex, and instead of using float, you can easily bring bring three divs in one line, and it's very easy. So today, now we are going to learn that how you can actually, what I want to say is the flex direction, in which direction, whether you want to pass it along the moving axis or pass it along the cross axis. So the difference between the moving axis and the cross axis is the cross axis is the x axis and the moving axis is the y axis. So now, just by default, if you write flex direction row, it remains here. But now we see the magic of Flexbox. So now you see it comes in column, or if this is what it shows when, without any float or without even putting, if we just comment these two lines, this will be the same. Okay, so now you can see by default it's a row. So if we don't give what is a flex direction, or if you don't mention in this CSS, in this container style, we okay, so it's a the divs are placed one after the another in a row. Now what you want to do is, so if you check, okay, if you check flex direction, it's, you see, okay, the flex direction property is a sub property of Flexbox layout module. It establishes the main axis. So what is the main axis? The main axis is the horizontal axis. Then a reminder is the main axis of a flex container is the primary axis, which flex items are laid out. So that it's not essential that it will be necessarily horizontal. It depends on the property of the flex direction. So um, so flex direction has 4 different values: row, same as the direction of the text, opposite to the text direction. Now there, now let me explain it to you, what is row reverse and what is column reverse. Okay, so if we talk about row reverse, then you see, okay, flex direction, suppose let us write row, or um, row reverse, you see what happens. uh, yeah, it completely goes to the different side. And if we again type column, flex direction column, so this might be helpful when you have navs and everything, when you want everything on the other side. So flex direction column, again it gives us this. Now if you want, now you see, now what you might expect is something which similarly which happened to flex. I'm sorry, I'm having a cold, that's why I need tea, and I've caught up a serious cold and I'm very sick today, but still I'm making this tutorial. Now if you see that what happens is, in this case, the first div goes to the third spot of the third div, and the third div, it's like ordered in something different, something from bottom to top. So it, the the main axis gets transformed into a moving axis here. So here we can clearly see the difference here, that okay, so this is a flex, this is something which is here, row, flex direction is row, and in this case the flex direction is row reverse. Okay, and the same thing in case of column. But in case of column, what happens is, you might have expected that there are 3 divs, it would go down or it would go to a different direction, but it's just reversing the direction. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So if you want to study more, you can study this here properly explained. So this is very useful, these things, when you're making a layout, because a layout is the first and foremost thing. So now what we learned here is flex direction. There are four types. One is row, which is by default, and if we type row reverse, it goes to the other direction, and the div3 comes in place of div1. Okay, it's almost like a float right. Okay, and the other thing is, if we had written float right, let me see, I forgot floats. Okay, float right, then yeah, it would have kind of given us the same thing, but you see the divs are still 1 2 3. So yes, and row reverse, and you already know what is a column, but still let me show you one more time. Yes, so this is a column, and if you want column reverse, just there will be 1 in place of 3. Yeah, and 2 will remain 2 will hold its position. So I hope the concept of flex direction is very much clear, and in the next episode stay with me so that I can give you a more intensive knowledge about flex. So again, two things. One is the moving axis, one is the horizontal axis. Main axis is the horizontal axis in traditional term, which is the x-axis, and the y-axis is the moving axis in traditional term, or when we write in a graph, it's the y-axis, or here it's called the moving axis. So I hope you are very much clear about the flex direction. So bye for now. See you again. Thank you.